Hey, good evening. So why am I here with like a pile of cash coming to you live with a video? Well, there's a lot of talk about reward systems and how much do we have to pay our staff and what kind of incentives do we have to create and all that stuff. And I've been talking to a lot about staff motivation and what works and what doesn't. And tonight I want to talk to you about reward systems for just a little bit. So, and I know it's late, but I think this is going to be a really important topic, and I want to help you understand what we're doing wrong with reward systems and how we can implement one that really leads to a positive culture change and one that avails you a dynamic, cohesive team. And that's what we want, right? That's why we try to do different things with our team, because we want them to be motivated. We want to take all these staff members we have and help them function together as a dynamic team. So, reward systems, let's talk about those. And I'm just going to give you some good hard tips, and hopefully you'll be able to run with those and make things better in your child care program. Where reward systems fail, let me start there. Hey Lala, nice to see you. And if you're here, go ahead and say hello. If you're watching, make sure you give this a like, give this a love, and share it out too, because there's so many people in this industry who are trying just to wave the cash around to say, oh, this is going to motivate my staff. And then they're really left with not having a motivated team. So lots of conversation goes on about reward systems, reward points, and how we make that work. And one of the things that I learned in corporate America is that they have a lot of bonus systems in place, and there's a lot of times we could get bonuses, and I got big bonuses in corporate America. But it became a thing where it was an expectation. And it wasn't like this reward system, because, you think when you reward employees, you want them to be like, woohoo, I just got this and I'm so excited, and it sustains motivation and they're happy going forward. It doesn't work that way, especially if it's something that becomes an expectation. Then it just becomes part of what they expect from doing their job, where you're thinking it's above and beyond, but they're thinking, this is what I get, this is what I'm entitled to. And that word comes up a lot too. Do you ever feel that way, that you feel like your staff are entitled? That's gonna be a whole other video, I feel, coming on. How you doing, Lala? I saw you were on the news, congratulations. Lala has a big vision for her program in the Philippines. Hey, Erica, nice to have you here. We got more people jumping on. And tonight I'm talking about rewards and what works and what doesn't work. So I'm waiting for some folks to jump on so we can have a little interaction with this and to give you some tips. Hello, Erica. Thanks for saying hi. Hey, Kelly. Nice to have you here. Nice to see you. So please say hi. Give this video a like. Give it a little love. Share it, because other people are doing this wrong as well in this industry. So I want to make sure that this evening we give you some tips so that you can do this right. So where reward systems fail, are you ready for this? Ready for some information? Okay. So it fails when it becomes an expectation. It also fails when, and this is the big thing that we do with reward systems, is we think this is only childcare and they don't make a lot of money. So we've got to do a lot of other things to get them to be motivated, to get them to want to do their job. And this really becomes exhausting. And if you're feeling exhausted, go ahead and write, Julie, I am so exhausted of trying to motivate, of trying to dangle that carrot. And it becomes exhausting when we feel like this is only the childcare industry, so we've got to give something to our staff. So it fails when we're trying to implement something out of guilt or feelings of lack of in the industry. So we're feeling that there's lack, so we've got to give more. And we're thinking that we're giving more, so our staff in return are going to be motivated. But that's not the way it works. And these aren't even the things that motivate your team. And if you want proof of this, look at some teams that are totally volunteer, that don't make any money. And I love to study these teams and say, what really sets these teams on fire? What keeps them going? What makes them work their full-time job and then go volunteer at the fire department or whatever it is that they do? You know, and there's all these different volunteer causes that people are so highly engaged with, and they don't make any money doing it, and they're not highly rewarded. The rewards come intrinsically. So if you want to implement a reward system that inspires positive culture change and avails you a dynamic, cohesive team, there's only one reward system that you need. Are you ready for this? If you want it, give me an oh yeah. Say, Julie, yes, tell me what it is. And I want to lay it out for you. And it's very simple in concept. So it's really easy to take a look at. And it requires less doing and more being. And the whole process of a reward system starts and initiates with progressive growth. When your employees are growing, they get rewarded. So there are reward systems in place that are effective, that reward people for growth. So how do we measure growth in your childcare program? It's not just about the annual performance review. It's about month-to-month goals and month-to-month celebrations. So make sure you write down these two words. One is goals and one is celebrations. And both of these words should be incorporated into your monthly staff meetings or your team meetings, whatever you call them, but where your entire staff get together. It's goals and it is celebrations. So when we look at goals really drive the sense of urgency to accomplish certain behaviors, to accomplish certain things that get us closer to the vision, right? Because that's the big goal, is to really bring the vision to life. And the goals that we set should be in accordance with that vision happening. So every single month, it should be like a staircase where you're looking up 12 stairs, and every single stair is going to get you closer to your vision, get you closer to that place where you want to be. But we're not doing that in our organizations. And here's a couple of facts for you. Feedback on performance is one of the top motivators. Feedback on performance is one of the top motivators. And opportunities for growth within an organization is another one of the top motivators for staff. So when you put these things together, you've got an incredibly powerful formula for building a reward system. And a reward system, basically, a goal is set, a goal is achieved, there's a reward, there's a celebration. But how do we start this? Well, it's got to start with you, the owner or the director, setting and achieving and celebrating your own successes. That's right. So this is where it becomes really fun, because you want to start taking a look at, what am I accomplishing month after month after month after month? What are the goals I'm setting? And am I communicating these goals with my staff? So these shouldn't be silent, secret goals. No, you should tell your staff you've got an enrollment goal, and your enrollment goal is to increase enrollments by 3. Or you've got this goal, or you've got that goal. And you really have to set the right goals to have a motivated staff. We'll do a whole other video on that. But the goal setting process is a powerful one for really cultivating a transformation that you want to see, and for building out your reward system. So your reward system should look like, all right, where is employee A right now? And where do they want to go in the next 30 days? How do I support them in getting there? And then how are we going to celebrate? Does that make sense? Let me know if it does. Let me know if you have any questions, because I want to make sure that you grasp this initial concept, and then we'll do more videos on these things too. But when you think about your rewards, don't think about, oh, for everybody who comes into work on time, they're going to get this. that's a basic part of their job. And if you want to implement something where they get points or they get funny money or they get something for those things, great. But let me tell you this, it is not going to cultivate that positive culture change that you really want to rock this year. It is going to incentivize those who are probably doing the right thing already and, give a few people the idea like, she's paying attention to this. So this is something I'm going to do. But it doesn't really inspire that long-lasting change. So think goals. And hey, Amelia and Martha, thank you for joining us tonight. And make sure if you're watching this and you're liking the content, loving the content, give me a heart. It always inspires me to come back and do more videos for you. So your reward system is based on two things, goals and celebrations. Goals and celebrations. And the problem is that when we think about goals and celebrations, it takes a little bit more thought process. We've got to think about it a little bit more and have a procedure in place so that we could keep on track of what are the goals that are being set and what are the celebrations that are happening and how are we doing that, as opposed to, oh, my team is unmotivated and now I need to put a reward system in place. I need to give them more money, or we need to do a team building activity, or we need to do something. Keep in mind, reward systems should help promote growth. Growth is a motivator. It's one of the top motivators, and feedback, getting consistent feedback such as their evaluation forms and monthly feedback, weekly feedback, those are motivators. So if you're looking for something to do to start incentivizing your staff, start thinking about how you can be more present as a leader and really acknowledge the successes that your team is having every single hour, day, week, month, and year. When the day ends, go around to your staff and say, what were the biggest successes you had today? Too often the conversation goes to, oh my goodness, what were the things that stressed you out, and tell me all about those. But leave your team going home in the evening, reflecting upon their successes, how they've grown, what they've handled outstandingly, and what they could look forward to the next day. So, what did we learn this evening? Well, we learned that your reward system has to be based on goals and celebrations, yes? And that two top motivators are feedback and progressive growth. And goals inspire that. And goals also create the sense of urgency for your vision to come to life. So you could think about rewards, and a lot of people do this saying, okay, we're going to have chocolate treats. They're going to get this, they're going to get that. But we don't get long-lasting results with all that stuff that we're trying to do. So the good news here is that you could actually do less once you get a systematic process in place where there's progressive growth, goals are set, goals are celebrated. Start with you. Start by setting 3 goals right now that you're going to take back into the workplace, and draw a chart on your whiteboard. Where's my whiteboard back there? That you're going to draw on your whiteboard, and you're going to share it with your staff and say, these are my 3 goals for the month. And I want you to help me track and measure progress. And I'm going to celebrate these at our next staff meeting. Let them see it in action. But too often we're like, yeah, I'd like my staff to set and achieve higher goals, when we're not doing it ourselves. So make sure that you're implementing it yourself, set and achieve higher goals so that you get progressive growth from your staff. All right. That is my late night video tip for you. I hope you found it helpful. And if you're listening to the replay of this, I still like your comments. I'll come back and read them, as well as your likes and your hearts. And let me know how this tip has served you. I really want you to start thinking about how you reward your team differently. I want you to get beyond Band-Aid solutions so you have long-lasting positive change happening within your childcare program. The way that I'm recommending becomes less exhaustive the more and more and more you hone your skills to do what I'm saying. And then it becomes like a well-oiled machine where you could step back and go, okay. Everybody's motivated. They're operating in this certain way. And isn't this cool? Now I could take a day off without worry. And that's what we want. We want them to be empowered team members. All right. All right. Oh, and if you're watching this, currently we are offering discovery sessions with me that you could sign up for and get on my calendar. All you have to do is private message me if you would like to get one of our discovery sessions. And then also we have an event coming up March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Lake Las Vegas. And that is called the Create Your Dream Team Experience, where we're going to be going through everything A to Z, hiring to firing, and creating a boatload of engagement in between. If you're interested in that event, haven't heard about that event, make sure you private message me for details about that event so I can make sure that you get that information. All right? Sound good? All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please rethink the way you're thinking about your reward system. It does not have to be as complex as you're thinking. And we have to rip the Band-Aids off and start formulating solutions that will get you long-lasting results, which is what you deserve. I'm Julie Bartkus, workplace transformationalist, best-selling author of Childcare Business Success, internationally known speaker, author, coach. And I look forward to the next video and to reading your comments. All right, everybody, have a fantastic evening. Bye.